Hello, listeners. So we know it has been quite some time. We haven't updated any status on our YouTube page as well, and we are really sorry about that. But we both have been stuck. There are plenty of zillions of reasons which we cannot disclose, honestly. But we are back, and what better track to come back with, right? With Coke Studio Bangla dropping its track, we are a day late, I would say, a day or two late. But someone mentioned that this is probably the last track of the season. I'm not sure, um, but I was obviously looking forward to because Coke Studio had a fixed frequency, I would say, a regular frequency of 2 weeks this season, but this song actually took a lot more time to release. Let's listen to it together and talk about it. Just a disclaimer: Harris is probably having a bit of difficulty, probably because of his sickness, I would say. But yeah, you can add.
Yeah, one of the reasons that we have been absent is, the weather is changing,
Mm,
people are getting sick, we fell sick.
yeah,
But for the love of music, let's do it.
let's start.
All right, three, two, one, play.
Coke Studio Bangla, Season 2.
This set, these birds signify something.
And I was going to ask that.
Hason rajare bandarai ko Dilaram tor goro Hason rajare he bandarai ko Dilaram tor goro Doro dilaram anja khoira doro Doro dilaram anja khoira doro Shona jane bere dilo koriya ado Shona jane bere dilo koriya ado Doro dilaram doro Hason rajare bandarai ko Dilaram tor goro Doro dilaram Hason rajare bandarai ko Dilaram tor goro Hason rajare bandarai ko Dilaram tor goro
আমায় ভেঙে গুঁড়ো টুকরো টুকরো করো তবু ধুলোর সাথে মিশে যাওয়া মালা মাতাল হাওয়ার সাথে মেঘেদের হাতে হাতে উড়ে যাওয়ার আগে কাটো ডানা
হাসন রাজা হাওয়ার মানুষ উঠিয়া দিল দোল হাসন রাজা হাওয়ার মানুষ উঠিয়া দিল দোল গেলে না পাইবে আর তাহারি কো গেলে না পাইবে আর তাহারি কো দর দিলারাম দর দিলারাম দর দিলারাম দর দিলারাম দর দিলারাম দর দিলারাম দর হাসন রাজারে মাইন্দারাই কো দিলারাম তোর গরো হাসন রাজারে মাইন্দারাই কো দিলারাম তোর গরো
The use of flute in this track is so beautiful.
I was surprised that Rahim is on
Flutes.
all the ensemble of saxophones.
বাঁধিও রঙিন কাছে তবু কেন মন বোকা খুঁজে নিয়ে আসা নিজের থেকে বেশি অকারণে রাশি রাশি তোকে ঘিরে কেন বাঁধি মোর ভালোবাসা
রাজারে মাইন্দার রাইখো মনের জিঞ্জির দিয়া হাসন রাজারে মাইন্দার রাইখো মনের জিঞ্জির দিয়া ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো হাসন রাজারে মাইন্দার রাইখো দিলারাম তোর বড় ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো হাসন রাজারে মাইন্দার রাইখো দিলারাম তোর গরু হাসন রাজারে মাইন্দার রাইখো দিলারাম তোর গরু
আমায় ধরে রাখো আমায় বেঁধে রাখো আটকে রাখো আমায় জোড়া হাতে আর করো দেরি জোড়াও পায়ে বেড়ি পালিয়ে যাওয়ার পর করেছি রাতে
ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো
As I played, just trying to escape the mind.
ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো দিলারাম ধরো
আমায় ধরে রাখো আমায় বেঁধে রাখো
Okay. Okay. So, before I go into monologue, I was very, very curious when I got your text that this is a beautiful, beautiful track. So, define your thoughts.
There are plenty actually. I would just keep on rambling. But yeah, I mean, when I listened to it first time, so some songs grow on me over the passage of time. For instance, Darale Duare, personally, have grown in such a manner that it has become the most favorite track of mine from this season.
Okay,
Um,
spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah, spoilers alert. But there are some songs which instantly click with me. You listen to first 15, 20 seconds of that track and you are sure that you would love that. For example, for me personally, Prarthana, Chelte Road, Nadir Kul,
Absolutely.
Bobar Pagal. I listened to just first 15, 20 seconds and I knew that I would love those tracks. These are all the songs that I know would stay with me just because of the beautiful instrumentation in the beginning. Um, this one, for me personally, had the most touching use of ukulele. In this case, I think it's guitarlele. It's mentioned in the description as well because it has six string instead of four. That particular piece in the beginning, it was just like it's pulling your heartstrings. I just keep on wondering how can someone's heart not melt listening to that small bit of intro? How can someone not shed a tear or two listening to that part along with beautiful vocals of Hamida Banu when she was singing? In the background, you could hear ukulele as well, and it was one of the most beautiful experience that I have had in this season, honestly. Um, I was left with a lump in my throat after listening to this track, especially focusing on the lyrics, because I could resonate with it a lot, a lot. Just a personal anecdote, nothing nothing related to. I mean, it is somewhat relating to it, but you know that we both use Twitter a lot, right? So, I came across a tweet recently. I forgot the name of the person, but in that tweet, she had posted a screenshot of her messages to her mom. What was heart-wrenching was that those messages did not have the blue ticks at all because her mom had passed away. So she was just sharing her everyday routine with her mom on the WhatsApp chat, knowing that she is never going to get a reply from her. And she mentioned that her mother was the best friend, her best friend. And I literally was in tears just reading that tweet. I was at the same time extremely grateful about the fact that I have the support system around me, and I mean, in the form of family, in the form of great friends. And basically, this song literally evoked that emotion again in me. Also, it also brought some sense of gratitude within me just because of the lyrics. If you just read the lyrics, you should be really thankful to have people around you who could support you, who could just hold on to you even during the most difficult circumstances. And the way both the songs have been merged was a beautiful experience for me. I know I have a bias towards Arnob, but in this particular track, um, the lyrics actually made sense if you listen to them together. One of them is a song from Arnob's and Friend, and the other one is a song from Hassan
Hasan
Raja's
Raja.
poetry. Yeah, and they both actually are blended together beautifully, creating that aura, that message that they want to send across. Just hold on tight to your dear ones. Just be there. Just
Yeah.
stay with them. It was just phenomenal piece of art. You mentioned about the use of bird. I was also actually curious. I don't know if it was a goose migrating or something like that. I don't know. Maybe, but
It
our
is. It
viewers can
is.
educate. Yeah,
So a bird, whichever bird,
yeah,
migrating
yeah,
to another nest, to another place.
yeah.
So, just want to build on top of what you just said. Let me describe the process that I go through especially with Coke Studio and other tracks, especially where I don't know the language. What I do first is I read the description, I read the transcript of all the lyrics, the
Hmm.
translation and all, and then I listen to the song, not the video. I don't want to watch the video
Hmm.
because that distracts you pretty
Hmm.
much.
Hmm.
In this case, I heard it first time on my AirPods, and then I apologized to myself that I should have been doing that because that pretty much ruins the experience. Some of the songs are just not made for these kind of.
Hmm.
Anyways, because I had read the lyrics, what stood out for me was exactly what you were saying, right? What they were, the whole message of the song. And Chilte Road you mentioned was very very similar experience. And a personal anecdote. So when Chilte Road was out, I think it was Eid day. I think
Hmm.
it was Bakra Eid.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was
I remember,
during
and I
those days.
was,
Yeah.
and because we are, excuse me, and because we are in Diyar Ghair,
Hmm.
we are in a foreign country. We have a very small circle with whom we celebrate all those things. And I was
Hmm.
at a friend's place, just a small get together, and Chelte Road dropped, and I instantly in that particular gathering I went outside to hear it first, right?
Yeah.
And
So.
man, it broke me.
Hmm.
On the first listen, it broke me. You know, you were mentioning that there are some songs it clicks in the first
Hmm.
go,
Hmm.
and I came back with moist eyes and all that because
Hmm.
you on those special days, Eid, Bakra Eid, and all those,
Hmm.
you feel the loneliness, you feel
Hmm.
the void, pretty much,
Yeah.
and then it makes you realize what you have lost, in search of what your goals are, etc.
Hmm.
And this is pretty much that, right? This is
Absolutely.
other side of the coin, pretty much, or the prelude to
Hmm.
Chiltha Road,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Pretty much
Correct.
prelude to Chiltha
Hmm.
Road. And both the songs, the one Hamida Banu sang and one Arnob sang, contextually, they were complementary, pretty
Hmm.
much.
Hmm. Hmm.
And tonight, When I knew that we were gonna sit down together to listen to it together, I watched the video, and I was wondering that this, these birds are migrating, and the lyrics were pretty much saying that I'm gonna escape tonight,
Mm.
or something like that. And it's about that. It's about I again personal anecdote, and how it's all about how we relate to music.
Absolutely.
It's all about how art invokes
Mm-hmm.
emotions in you. And again, a personal anecdote, that when I was listening to it, reading to it, I was remembering that as the days were coming closer for my own migration, I knew that in a week, in 3 days, in 2 days, in one day,
Mm.
I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna
Mm.
leave this place. I'm gonna leave
Mm.
home and my family
Mm.
behind. And this, you know, this wrenching in my chest that I'm gonna leave everything behind. Although I had this dream all my life that I'm gonna go to Europe and all that, I was super excited. But as the time came close, the
Absolutely.
same emotion that everyone I hold dear, I wanted them to hold me. And
True.
when I couldn't find that, I seeked out, I reached out myself to do that. I was texting my friends that, hey, let's meet every single day. Let's sit down on the chai dhaba and all that.
Mm. Mm.
I remember that you were in our friends group. You were the first one who left the country.
Mm. Mm.
You went to Saudi Arabia and all. And I remember that because you were the first one who left the group, um, the hole it created. And I also remember that whenever you used to come back to the country, regardless of what time, whether it's 5 a.m. in the morning, 4 in the morning, we were at the
I
airport,
recall. I recall that. Yeah.
right? And we would do anything just to spend as much time together as possible. Yeah, and this, arrangement and vocals and everything aside, the way, I mean, Banu's vocals were very precise, very, beautiful, but the way Arnob emoted the whole thing, man, heads off. The way he emoted the whole thing, that, this plea, this
Mm.
plea that he had in some of the parts where he wanted people to, do that to him.
Just yeah.
I felt that, and pretty much everyone who has left their homes would feel that,
Feel
the
that.
plea. Even now that we are here, you know, yesterday my brother texted me that, I'm missing you. Please come back home soon. And man, every single time that happens, something breaks,
Always.
and then this drops, and
Mm. We you have actually put me in a difficult spot as well.
yeah.
It's really heart wrenching. We go through these experiences, and it always. I mean, this. I know there would be plenty of people out there who would have similar stories just listening to this track, and they would feel the same way. I completely agree with you on the part how Arnav has actually sent this specifically. He was like singing it like a free spirit. He was not just not caring.
Yeah, exactly. That was so, you know, boundless. There was
Correct,
no boundary about how you are singing.
correct.
You know, what, excuse me, what notes you're hitting, the time signature, all. He was just in it, and
In it.
he wanted to perform what he
Hmm,
felt.
hmm, hmm,
He wrote it back in the day, but because it's his creation, he knew the whole material
hmm.
behind it, and man, he did some justice. And every season, every single, I mean, it's 2 year in a row, he does something that, yeah, that touches some nerves,
Always,
that are, yeah, they're
always.
bittersweet. I wouldn't say painful. They're
Yeah,
just
it is.
bittersweet.
It is. It is definitely.
Damn it.
Um, it's. I mean, apart from the singing as well, what I love the most about this particular track was how they have used the percussions, especially when Hamida Banu is singing. So when you listen to Arnob's part, there are no dholak playing in the background. But when Hamida Banu's part comes, it creates that rooted feeling. So probably, I don't know, the thought process behind was that Arnob probably was mimicking someone who is going away. Hamida Banu's part was basically more rooted towards your own roots itself. Probably they have done the arrangement in this manner because I love when Mithun Chakra was playing that dholak in the background during the part of Hamida Banu. And the use of flute in this particular track, especially for me, was magical
Also,
experience.
Komak
Come
was also adding a lot of
yeah,
earth.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was adding a lot of earth
Mm.
to this particular track. This feeling of home.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That's
know,
the right way to put it. That's what wanted to mention too. Yeah, the feeling of
yeah,
home. Absolutely.
yeah. Damn it. By the way, I just want to mention one thing that wherever we have Resalat, whichever track has Resalat, I mean I would know that this is gonna be something that
Ah,
I would love, right? So uh, even in this track, Resalat did a lot of magic for me. And
absolutely.
then the very subtle lead guitars and everything in the background, use of clarinet was there. The flute was again the arty feeling, the home feeling,
Hmm.
everything. Yeah,
Hmm.
the set design was also. I mean, now I'm realizing after watching the video, the set design was also uh, compounding that
Hmm.
effect.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
and
actually kind of sad now. Probably it is the last track. I don't know. Um, I hope not. I hope that some other track drops from this season as well. But yeah, I think this track for me personally is going to stay for quite some time. I would be listening to it for sure on repeat.
yeah. And also about this, I rarely listen to Chilter,
I don't know.
and I probably will rarely listen to this
Hmm,
because again it takes you to a place
hmm,
where yeah I anyways um, I hopefully will travel home this winters
hmm.
and yeah, while in transit while traveling I might listen to it these two track again and again because then I know that they wouldn't have that effect.
Hmm. Not while coming
But
back.
no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it's going there is all fun and excitement, coming back is always so
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about going going in to the season was excitement and fun.
Hmm.
Coming out of the season is also hollowness, void.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if this is the last track. But yeah, brilliant season. Ending on a very high note,
Yeah. Absolutely.
right? Yeah, it leaves you with a scar.
Hmm. Yeah, it does.
So yeah,
It
yeah.
does. All right, I think it's pretty late here, and the video has been pretty long. But I would say let's conclude it over here. Let us know what you thought about this particular track, how you resonated, and the
Also, our
significance. Yeah.
interpretation of the lyrics is
Hmm.
based on the English translations,
English
right? And
translation. Yeah.
there could be multiple other layers
Hmm.
that we might have missed, and we
Hmm.
would unpack on further listening.
Yeah.
But please do educate us.
Absolutely. Just a disclaimer again, we keep the subtitles on. We just don't put it in our video. But yeah, we always read the lyrics beforehand as well, just to get better understanding of the track itself. So yeah, let's leave it there. And until next time, take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Bye bye.